Hi guys, welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. I am Medium Garuda and I am your host on the Medium Garuda show. If you want to, you can visit my Facebook page to find out more about me, how I work and the services I offer worldwide. Last week, the producer was merciless. I didn't get a chance to finish my show because I didn't have any time left. Okay, the blame was all me, but what I wanted to do was to thank Constance and Dave from A1R Psychic Radio for giving me this opportunity and for all their excellent work, also behind the scenes. So now, if you think last week had some kind of serious introduction from my side, let's see if I can beat that this week. In my job, many times I get confronted with people who are in hopeless situations. And they always experience bad luck and setbacks. Also, some of them only have had negative experiences in their life. Because of that, they have a low self-esteem and no motivation left to fight for their goals. Because in their opinion, everything they want to achieve fails. How many times they must have heard around them, "It will be alright, just stay positive, it could be worse, luck must be enforced, go see the doctor," and so on. But in the end, they don't get the actual support they really need. For those people, it is the hardest to find a glimmer of hope with which they can move on with their life. Actually, they really want to move on with their life. But because of past experiences, their future has been psychologically blocked. Some of them really need psychological help to get there. And when you need it, get it. This help is there to help and support us. Some of them are able to do it by themselves, but they think they don't have the right tools to fight for it. As a matter of fact, all tools we need are in our heart. The most important first step is to choose for yourself. What's in your heart? When you choose for yourself, you will never make the wrong choice. Wrong choices are a result of hope and fear. Hope and fear are in our head. And like I said last week, when you live out of your head, you are not yourself because of all influences, which means you don't choose for yourself. Also keep in mind to take one step at a time. That means that you will need to cut your future perspective into pieces and focus on just one little subject you want to achieve. When you first put a focus on something, it makes it easier to ignore negative influences. Be sure to choose a small single difficulty in your life you want to conquer. If you have overcome that first small step, you already will have more space around you. Plus, it has positive influence on your self-esteem. Now you're ready for the second challenge. Again, just take a small one, because that will let you get used to victories. Another advantage is that your free space around you will slowly grow, so you can get used to it. And even better, this also reduces the feeling of oppression, of which your self-esteem increases. Slowly, this will stimulate you to take the following steps, but don't put any pressure on yourself. You are the only one who knows what you can handle, and the time you need for that is not important. In the end, it's the result that counts. So please, never let down on yourself. Even with your past experiences, always keep faith and trust. Even when you see black stars and black snow, this doesn't mean that this is the life you should have for a lifetime. Make choices and keep communicating with the people who are in your heart. When you make choices by heart, this doesn't mean everybody will be happy with your choice. Keep in mind that you can't do it good in favor of everybody. Therefore, you must choose for yourself. After all, people who really love you already are proud of you whatever you choose. For family, relatives, and friends, please support those people who are fighting for their goals. Give them your love and give them your confidence. You will be surprised about the positive and stimulating effect it has on the person who receives this. So, and now my introduction is ready. I will switch to the first caller this evening, and I see it is Michelle from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Super. How can I help you, Michelle?
Okay, so could you tell me, I have two people who have passed away, and I would like to know if their spirit is around me, if there's anything you can tell me, any messages at all, anything in my future, just generally speaking, anything you feel for me.
Yes, I will check for for the people who passed away, which are with you, the spirits, and for your some kind of future prediction. You ask.
I'm sorry?
You are also asking for some kind of future prediction.
Yep.
Okay, let's focus first on spirits around you. I can see many spirits around you. That's because you also are a very spiritual and sensitive person. Let's see. I can see an old man in your life, but it's not in your life anymore. He's passed away. It must be somebody like a grandfather person, but it's from father's side. It's an old man. That's the first person. I can also see a lady. That's not a very old lady. It feels like a very good friend or sister of you. Let's see.
No.
First, I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. No, go ahead, speak.
No problem. First, the grandfather person, it is from father's side. And if I feel to that person, he had a lot of difficulties in life. And I also feel a lot of emotions in his life. He didn't have the life he wanted to have. It's a man who has died at old age. That's what I can feel. I think he passed away. Yeah, I can feel he can't breathe anymore, and I can feel the air moves from my head. So it's like something in his heart, which I feel. I don't feel really a disease like cancer or something like that.
I do have a grandfather who did pass away from heart failure, but
Yeah.
I wasn't born yet, so he had just passed like a year before I was born, I believe. So that could be who you're speaking of in reference to somebody who's passed. But anybody in recent times, do you feel any energy around me in recent passings within the last 6 months or so?
Let's see. Yeah, because that grandfather is the person you have your spirituality from, and also I see a lot of connection between you and your grandfather because you have a lot of similarities in your character. Recently passed away. I also that woman is also pointing at me. It's a lady. I think. She died too early. That's what I can feel. I can only see. I can also see a small soul at your side, a very tiny soul. So I believe that must be something. That's something like a miscarriage or something because it's very small.
Interesting. The only other person that I do have that's passed away, I mean, is my mother, but she's passed now for 7 years. So,
but that's but your mother is a person who died too early.
Yes, my mom did die young. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the lady because I see the grandfather and I see that lady who died too young because She feels to me like a woman like 40, 50 years old. I know she's older, but her energy age is very young. She died way too young.
Yeah, yeah. She was
And I
65,
feel
so.
it's like she died like a year ago or a few months ago, because the emotions I feel on this loss is very fresh.
Well, actually, that might be a friend of mine you're speaking with, died a few years ago in his 40s. I mean, a few months ago, excuse me, in his 40s. So that might be who you're picking up on. That's actually the person that I was kind of hoping would come through first, because it's such a recent passing, and he was the one who was closest to me in my living life now, So
Yes.
the male, though, it's not a female. So, and he was in his 40s. And, it was sudden, so it was unexpected, too. So he's the one I was hoping that would come through first.
Yes.
If I don't know, is that who you're picking up on now, I guess?
I know I'm picking up the grandfather, the mother, but the male person who died too young, that person is different, because that person, he is at your side. I can see him, but he doesn't show himself. So that means he is ashamed of something. He feels guilty.
Ah.
Because and I feel now the emotions. I also feel the emotions from that person, from that male person. And you see, I have some smile on my face, and that means that that male person is very happy that I'm talking about him, because he doesn't talk he is very insecure.
Mm.
He feels guilty.
Yeah.
He died really too young. That's a fact. And is there a chance that he was somehow also a little bit responsible for his death? I mean, I don't say he killed himself, but he died too quick. It's like he had some influence on his death.
Yeah.
Like he didn't fight enough.
Any messages from him to me?
I can see that he tells me that you feel very alone at the moment.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
of course. I'm sad that he's not here.
Sorry?
I'm sad that he is no longer here. That's correct. So, yeah, I feel alone in that respect. That I'm missing him, of course.
Yeah. And he also tells me, because you don't have a love in your life at the moment.
Right. Well, he was my best friend, so.
So he will be responsible for the love in your life, because he has to give you something. I can see he didn't fulfill his task at your side here on earth. And he is telling me that he will fulfill this task from the other side. He's very happy that you find a chance to communicate with him, because he didn't get the chance to communicate with you.
Right. Well, you can let him know, that I love him. I'm always thinking of him, and definitely not to be ashamed of anything, So
Yes.
I loved him for the way he was and who he was. So,
That's it. It's the respect between the both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can you see who he's with on the other side? Like, I don't know if he's with a family member or.
He is with your mother. He is with your grandfather. I also see that small soul, but I think it must be a sister, or it must be a sister from you. So it has to be from your mother's side, not from you personally, but from your mother. And he is with you, only he is not very close to you, because he also feels a lot of sadness at this moment. So he will move slowly towards you to support you. His place will be behind you, behind your neck.
Okay.
Your grandfather is at your left shoulder, your mother is at your right shoulder. So that means those two persons guide you in your life at the moment. So you are facing some difficulties because I can feel that. I also see you don't have a very clear view of how your future might look like. You have to make some choices. And I see that your grandfather and your mother are forcing you to make the choices. They are guiding you. And the male person who will enter at your back, he will support you and he will also comfort you when you are sad.
Oh, okay.
So it looks great for you in the future. The only thing, you need to make some choices, but don't be afraid to make the choices because you get emotional help from the male person and you get the practical help from your grandfather and your mother.
Okay.
So you have a
Choices
perfect balance.
Choices in which way? Would it be work-related, relationship-related, or health-related, or just in general?
On love life, I see changes, work-related. I can see on your work, I can also see big changes because I also see positive influence on your finances. So I see changes at your work. Okay. I also see that your character, because you have a very strong character, only you are very passive at the moment in life and you will be more active.
Okay.
You will have more self-confidence, you will be more secure for yourself.
Right. Okay.
I hope I give you the good information because I also have a next caller ready.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much also for calling and have a very great evening to you. So I see we have Katie in Kansas City. Katie, good evening.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, can you hear me good?
Yes.
Super. How can I help you, Katie?
Pardon me?
How can I help you, please?
I was just wondering, my question is about a family member and a friend who we've gotten news about that are experiencing ill health. And I was just hoping you could put some light on that situation.
So those persons are still alive?
Yes.
Yes. And who are the family members you want information from?
I'm sorry?
The family members, which are they? Is it a brother?
No, nephew.
Nephew. Let's see, nephew. I can feel a connection between you and a nephew, but I can also feel distance between the both of you.
Right.
I feel emotion and I feel more difficulty between the two of you. It's like you don't understand each other very correctly. Your nephew has a kind of negative energy. That means he is not a negative person, but I can see your nephew faces a lot of difficulties.
Yes.
And I can see that your nephew, I can see negative influence like alcohol or things against the law or something, because his energy is a positive energy. He is a sensitive person, but the circumstances in his life makes his energy dark colored. So that means a little bit negative. So what I can see is that he totally lives in his head. That means that he's not himself. You see a nephew you don't recognize from the heart.
Okay.
I can feel that your nephew will need some kind of help. To get a little bit psychological help, I think, because he has a lot of troubles, and I can see that he is not able to fight against it on his own because he feels very alone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And you also have another person you wanted the information from because the time is running out almost?
Yes, a friend of my husband and me, he's also fighting illness as well, and we think he may recover, but we're not sure.
Yes, I will check for him because it's when it's medical, it's not able to answer. Let's see. I can feel difficulties, but I can't feel a tear. So that means it will be a path with some difficulties, but I can't feel emotions. That means that, in my opinion, he will survive.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I can't feel the sadness of a loss of a family member or friend. And because I can't feel the loss, I suppose that he will survive. I can feel difficulty, so that is the struggle to fight against the illness. But in my opinion, what I see from my spirits, he must stay here on earth.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's some good news.
Yeah.
I just wondered also if you could give me a time frame when my husband and I may be moving. That's kind of in our future, I believe.
Time frames are very difficult in the spiritual world, but it will be some struggle for months, several months.
Several months, okay.
And I see our time is up in a few seconds, so I really have to end it. I'm very sorry, Kathy.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you very much. So time really has wings. Again, the introduction of my show was from my side, so let's switch roles this time. If you have a subject or idea, please post it below my video. I hope you enjoyed my show just like I did, and I hope you will tune in on me next week on A1R Psychic Radio. Same time, same location. Good luck to all of you guys, and see you next week. Bye bye.